J-Mac, you're at the Queensland Hub in pretty unique circumstances. Ollie, your wife, is expecting your first child any day. How are you juggling that? What sort of decision making have you come to?
It's it's a very unique situation for me. I remember when we found out we were having a kid, and it was in December, and as most footballers probably do, they look up the schedule to see, or the draw, and see where it lands, and thought we timed it perfectly. It was going to fall in the pre-finals bye, which was good. Now falls about round 13 or 14. So, look, it's 2020 for you, but it's a situation we're sort of managing day by day, and she's been awesome for me. She's been encouraging me to stay here as long as I can, and I will be going home for the birth. I just got to try and work out when that is, and at this stage it probably looks like it'll be next week sometime, but I'm trying to get in as many games as I can.
So if it is next week, would that potentially mean the Geelong game you'll get in and the Melbourne game you'll get in, but then you might have to pull the pin after that?
Essentially, that's where it's probably landing at the minute. She's got appointments throughout the week as we go, and we're just sort of keeping an eye on it. But at the minute, I'm hoping to get in those two games at a minimum, and then we can sort of work out from there and how she's feeling at home, how she's coping as well. Obviously, there's a different situation down in Melbourne at the minute, and changing by the day. So, yeah, we'll just keep monitoring it, and that's the plan at the minute, is probably to head home after that Melbourne game. But yeah, it's, again, wait and see.
Because it is a big call, right? Because of the restrictions that are in place, the border protection and quarantining and all that sort of stuff. Do you think that there's a potential that that could be it? If you leave, you won't be able to get back in?
Yeah, it's something I've spoken to Braids and Shorey about a fair bit. It's 2020 is a challenging year for a lot of people, and it just means that, unfortunately, if I do go home, it's going to be very hard to come back. If I do come back, I'll probably have to serve a 2-week quarantine period somewhere in a hotel room by myself, which, to then turn around and play a game of football days or weeks later is challenging. So they're the obstacles I face and sort of have come into the decision making. But at the end of the day, it's my first kid, and I want to be there to support Ollie. And everyone says it's one of the best moments of your life, so I don't want to miss that.
And what is Ollie saying the whole way through?
She was pretty good. I was sort of thought we'd have to have a bit more of a conversation when the hub idea came up, and I was sitting there thinking this is going to be a challenging conversation to have, and she was unbelievable. She said, why is this even a conversation? You're going, you're only a plane flight away, and she's got her sister in Melbourne. Her parents are actually in Adelaide, but there was my family there as well, has been able to support her, and even to this day, she's been saying she's going really well. She might have been lying to my face a little bit to keep my mind at ease, but she's been fantastic and just had nothing but support for me. So now it's my turn to support her through this.
Did you even discuss potentially her coming up here and having the baby in Queensland?
Very briefly, but it was actually too late. She wasn't allowed to fly, so she would have had to have driven up. And given everything that's going on, it was probably in the too hard basket. And to be honest, I didn't even take the conversation to Shorey and Braids, and it wasn't even really a decision in the end. That just wasn't even an option for us. So and to be honest, when we first came up, we were due back this week anyway. So that was the original discussion, was do I go? And it was yes, we'll go. And then obviously the extension of the hub, whilst we were already in the hub, probably would have changed things. But she just said, again, stay as long as you can, and she'll deal with what she needs to deal with in Melbourne.
And the club's obviously been supportive of whatever decision you both have come to?
Yeah, definitely. Shorey's had a number of conversations with me, and I've spoken to him about trying to really draw this out as close to the birth as I can, and he's almost had the shoe on the other foot. He spoke about his experiences of his first kid, and both his kids, and how special it was, and he was sort of like, this isn't something you want to miss, and has almost been encouraging me to rethink, how much I want to push this and go home whenever I'm needed. So they've been nothing but supportive in helping me sort of navigate my way through this. And it's an evolving situation, and certainly a challenging one, because I love playing footy, and I love this footy club, and we've been going through a pretty trying time at the minute, and to sort of feel like you're sort of deserting the guys a little bit is a challenge for someone like myself. So they've been nothing but supportive and helping me through it.
I have to ask, is it a bit of a worry that things can happen pretty quickly with births? Nothing is actually written in stone. It can come early, it could be late. Is it a bit stressful?
It is. It plays on my mind a fair bit, and that was sort of what Shorey was alluding to with me, because I said, oh look, we could probably push it to, she's almost 38 weeks now, and you know, do we push it to 39s? You know, statistics say the first one comes late, all that sort of thing. And he was sort of like, mate, you know, it could take it, given the way the flights are going at the minute from Queensland, it could take me 3 days to get home just with cancellations and late changes and all those sorts of things. So he was sort of, look, you should probably go home to be on the safer side. So yeah, it is stressful, but I think, as I said, whether she's lying to my face or not, but Ollie's been pretty good at home, and she's been saying she's going really well, which I'm sure she is, and yeah, she's been super.
Oh, well, thanks for the chat, J-Mac. We wish you guys all the best, and obviously we hope you make it back in time.
Yeah, fingers crossed. No, I'm sure I will.